All right, everybody, welcome to another fantastic episode of Diz Debate. We are so glad to be here, and we've got Sophie with us again, and we're excited to have her. We've got lots to dive into today. We've got lots of news to cover, so we're just going to get right into it. But before we do, we're going to get to know everybody that joined us today. It's the regulars. It's our
Yeah, I'm fine,
awesome
thanks.
group
I'm
here.
very
Sophie,
excited
how are
for the
you doing
UK,
today?
which everyone will know how hard it's been. And on Instagram, I am at Sophie's Travel Journal.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Well, it's always good to have you, Sophie. We're glad you're here. Dean, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. Yeah, as Sophie said, it's nice. It's gotten a bit cooler in the UK, just a bit, but nice.
Excellent. We've been having some rain here in the west. It's been kind of nice. It's like 40 degrees today. Joe, how are you doing today?
Yeah, not bad. Like everybody else, I'm gonna reiterate what everyone else is saying. Is gotten a lot cooler, which is nice. Although I did like the midweek Florida prep weather because it's exactly how it's gonna feel when we're all out there in like 60 or so days, which is exciting. Three of us are gonna be out there together.
Very exciting.
But yeah, doing well, doing well.
Good. Well, it's good to have everybody. And of course, I'm Jackson, Disneyland Man's Instapix. If you don't know that, then that's a bummer, and you haven't watched enough of our podcast. You should go back and watch more. Um,
Been 90%.
I know. Um,
I go as far as say 95.
I would say I've only missed a few. We're coming up on 7 months of Diz Debate. We're happy to be here, and we're
That's crazy.
grateful everyone's stuck with us for our journey. But yeah, so before we get into our topic today, which we're really excited about, there's a lot of news to cover. A lot of things happened this week and kind of last week in the Disney parks and the Disney community. Not so much movie-wise. I heard Toy Story 5 has been doing pretty well. Taylor Swift's song has been doing fantastic. I haven't seen the movie, but I've only heard pretty good things. So I'm excited to see it I can, when I can cough up, $40 to go see a movie. Frick that. But yeah, that's kind of how much it costs around here. And just stupid.
That's
I
crazy.
know it, dude. But we have lots of other things to talk about. Dean, you brought up a piece of news. Would you like to bring that up right now?
Universal Kids has opened, and I can't believe how the fan community is out for Universal's blood. Yes, it looks as exciting as a car park, but it's not aimed for adults, it's aimed for kids. And then you get people come back at you saying, oh, but Legoland's aimed for kids and it's done much better. Yes, it is. But still, it's the first time they've done this. Yes, they should have made it better and more enticing and kind of less of a car park. But I think there was some things given by the mayor, where he wouldn't allow any indoor dark rides. He wouldn't allow any big buildings with coverings. So they were stuck with kind of what they've done, but they could have done a bit more to that than
That's
what we've got.
that's rough
What are your thoughts on it?
workarounds. Yeah, from what I've seen, it doesn't look the theming just doesn't look great. It doesn't look very built out like a new theme park should, especially what we've come to expect from Universal, from all their new parks, from uh, you know all the I can't remember all the names now, the Mario World and stuff like that, and How to Train Your Dragon. Like those are just such well themed lands, and that's not what I was expecting. But I didn't know they were having those weird workarounds, so I'd like to investigate that more and see why. Because no indoor dark rides, like how are you supposed to build something then? You know? So I don't know. That's my first thought.
I think they should have pulled out of the contract when the mayor or the governor started laying down laws like
I
that,
think
because
I've seen pictures of it,
it's
and
not workable, is
yeah,
it?
I know it's for kids, so it's not going to be like big rides, which I get. But it's the theming. Like I saw the pictures of like the Minions water ride, and in like the concept art, it's all like trees and bushes, and there's like a little patch of grass. It's like they've not even tried, and that's just not Universal. Like they're supposed to, they have a lot of money to do these like big parks. So why have they just built something with like no theming, no immersion? It's just like some fairground rides, more or less, just kind of stuck somewhere.
I think it would take time to grow, but you need to have a good basis there to start with, which they haven't really got. But
Yeah, that's a rough I don't know. That's a rough thing, and especially with Universal over in the UK coming up, I'm worried. That's kind of a concerning thing, like if that's what,
We don't want.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about that, but Sophie had a piece of news she wanted to bring up as well. Would you
Yeah,
like
so
to
as of today, which
enlighten
is the
us?
28th of June, basically, if you're in Disney Springs, you can't then get to a resort unless you've got a reservation at one of the Disney resorts. Obviously, people have been using Disney Springs for free parking to get into the hotels and then into the parks. And Disney kind of thought, oh, wait, no, we want to charge you $30 for parking, so this needs to stop. I think it's a good thing because if you're paying thousands of pounds to stay on property and then you can't get on your boat or your bus because it's full of people just kind of doing the hack to get everywhere free. But I know that people are sad they can't just then like go to certain hotels just for like a quick service. They have to have a reservation. So it's a bit of a like, I don't know, it's like mixed reviews at the moment about it.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, this is hard because I love resort hopping as I know most people do. I know Dean does. And I've done it whether I stay on property or not, and I love doing that for the pictures, right? It's so fun to just go and like on my travel day, I have like, oh, I have 4 hours. Let me go check out Contemporary and get some pictures and then peace out. So I know that like some of that's still gonna be possible, but I also know it's gonna get harder and harder. And I think this is just a product of a more crowded park and just more crowded resorts. This is just how it's going to be. But yeah, there's two sides to that coin. It's just disappointing, but also I don't know. I get the
Apparently as
cons
well,
too.
so
I
they
get the pros and the cons.
announced like all the Christmas stuff the past week, and in some of the Christmas like reveals, they've said only for resort guests Christmas decorations will be, and so people are thinking, does that mean that's it? Resort hopping will end by Christmas, or it's not very clear. But I suppose it's to stop the overcrowding in the resorts, which does make sense. But at the same time, it's got like negatives to it, hasn't it? So it's a bit of a just one of those things. Can't please everyone.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. Maybe that'll be something they alter as they go. But um, the last piece of news we want to bring up today before we dive into our topic is Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. It received I didn't think they announced this. I was surprised. I don't know if they did announce it and I missed it, but it just opened and it had this new animatronic. It's a projection audio animatronic, so it replaced the skeleton that was sitting on the gold, and the effect is that he picks up the gold and then he gets cursed and gets turned into a skeleton and he puts the gold back down. Um, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't have an opinion formed yet. I can't decide if I like it or not. I was telling Olivia earlier that I like the tech. I think it's better than most projection stuff I've seen before, but I also just don't think it quite fits in Pirates. That's such an older attraction, and I just don't think that projection works with all the realistic animatronics later, and that part of the ride I don't think it quite fits either. But I like the idea and I like the storytelling, so maybe that could fit on something else. I was saying that would be awesome on Big Thunder in Disneyland that has no animatronics. That would be a good fit. Something like that would be nifty. But I don't know. What I do know is this: the original Imagineer actually worked on that project, posted it on his Instagram, and I went and checked out that post. And he actually had to turn off comments because they got so heated and people were saying such nasty things. I don't care who you are, that's ridiculous. Like people, tone it down a little bit. Like I know it's a beloved attraction. I know it's one of Walt's. Don't freak out, okay? Like it's still the same and awesome, and we don't need to resort to like such low behavior for such a thing. Like if you want to get mad, start a podcast and get mad about it, but like be cool. So I don't know. That's my take. Anyone else have any other takes from what they've seen online?
Yeah, I think I think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing. It gives a little bit of new life to an OG ride. You know, it's but it's going to be great until it stops working one day, and then you've just got an animatronic layer which is moving about with no face. That's going to be the downside of it, and it's happened. We've seen it on Frozen at in Epcot. Is it's going to happen at some point eventually. So it's it's
Yeah,
good until it's
I'm just concerned with how it's
right,
going to
isn't it?
look with the rest of the ride because, like you said, it's all like the original animatronics or like the older style. So is it going to fit in? Is it going to like flow? Obviously, we'd have to go in it to see if it actually does fit. But I'm just concerned about how it's going to look in the rest of the ride.
I was messaging Idiot's Guide to Imagineering earlier, and we were just talking. So there's got to be a reason why they're kind of soft testing it at Disneyland, and we were wondering if this is the way they're going with the Encanto attraction, because they've had said that it's going to be heavily screen and projection based. So maybe something all together if they're all similar systems, so you're not mixing classic audio animatronics with kind of new technology. Maybe it would work better. They haven't said anything. I mean, I think we might hear a bit more at D23, unless this feedback is
Isn't
completely
that what?
pushed them off
So,
of
you know, the
wanting
Peter
to
Pan
use
ride in
this
Tokyo,
again.
that's all screens, isn't it?
All screens, but
That's probably what they're
they've
probably
got
thinking then.
classic
Like,
audio
Encanto,
animatronics
isn't
as
it? The
well.
same type of thing, I imagine.
I would imagine Encanto might turn into something very similar to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, where it's very heavily projection based.
Mm.
Who knows? We don't know until until we hear more, which is
That'll be an interesting mix between a boat ride and a really heavy projection base because we've seen that in is it Shanghai Pirates that's like that where it's that mix, but that was many years ago that that was built and it's very well done and there's a lot of practical sets. So I'm wondering if it's going to be kind of leaning towards that where really like projection heavy animatronics and like transitions between sets, but there's also these big physical props that are they're gonna help do storytelling. I don't know. That's a really good question, but it's a really good it's a good connection you made, Dean. I hadn't thought about that. I don't know. I'm not saying I'd hate it. That's the thing. Like I don't hate the technology, but I'm also saying I don't know if I'd love it. And the problem is, like Joe brought this up, most animatronics, practical ones, have B modes where if their face goes out or something, they can still just do a little bit or whatever. And we've seen my problem is the new ones on Tiana's are struggling too. Like I feel like audio animatronic technology has just kind of been hitting a wall recently, and we can't get consistency out of it. And so I'm worried that they're going to try this new stuff on this new ride, and it's just going to end up being Windows logos on everyone's face until they kind of figure it out. So
me scream the
yeah,
devil.
dude, I've seen those pictures of Runaway Railway. It's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
Um, Anyway, lots to think about at this current time, and I'm interested to see how this one ages. But we'll go ahead and get right into our fantastic episode today. We are going to do a deep dive on Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. We're very excited. That's what we're going. Joe is.
Oh my god, I'm so prepared for Hollywood Studios. Oh, no.
Well, Joe can give us updates on Hollywood Studios, which should take about 3 minutes, and then we'll talk about Magic Kingdom. But we're excited today. So what we're going to basically do is just go over park history, where it came from, and then we're going to talk about changes, what we've lost, what we've gained over the years. Mr. Toads, 20,000 Leagues. And then we're going to talk about what it is now, and where we're going with it, and all these new changes. It really is a growing park right now. So there's lots to talk about with this. But we're just going to dive right in. If somebody wants to offer up a short history, we have our Disney Encyclopedia here, which is Dean. If he wants to talk about where Disney Magic Kingdom kind of started, where it came from.
Well, it was built to be like a sister park to Disneyland, wasn't it? That was what the intention was. Is when it was originally designed that they were going to have their own versions of some of like the classic Disneyland rides. Oh, like instead of Mr. Toes, they were doing an Ichabod and
Headless Horseman.
what's the Flaming Skull? Yeah, the headless. They were doing a Headless Horseman dark ride, and it was going to be a Sleeping Beauty dark ride. And what was the other one? There was another one instead of Peter Pan, but they were going to do kind of different versions of what Disneyland has. But then with Walt passing and things, and yeah, they just decided to just do a copy and paste. But the benefit of Walt Disney World, well, Magic Kingdom, is they've got the space. So as we're finding out in later years, they can put more in there, whereas Disneyland is quite landlocked. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it opened 71, and it's 54. I think it's 55 this year, isn't it? Or is it 54? I can't do math, so someone's gonna have to help me with that. Anyway, come. Is
55.
it 55 this year? So that's pretty cool.
55.
Yeah, and so some notable differences, like I think everyone always says castle's bigger, don't need a magnifying glass to see it, right? I got made fun of on that one when I was representing Disneyland in our battle episode a few weeks ago. Um, but also like their main street is a definite step up, really tall buildings, really big things. And like Dean said, like just so much space. They built it out way more. And if you look at early photos, there's so much like dead space almost in the first few years where trees weren't grown in yet, and you could see the backsides of attractions and like the edge of things where they were planning to expand later. Really, it's actually a really fascinating thing to see like a new Disney park kind of like in its infancy. It's very fascinating because now we're so used to trees being grown in already and all these sorts of things. So so now that we've kind of covered where it's come from, what have we lost really? I think that's the thing to grab onto here. What have we lost from Disney World that especially that we loved, but anything?
Alien Encounter. That was one of my favourite
Right
rides.
out of the gate, hitting in the
You
heart.
know, I never had the opportunity to go on it because I may have been too young to experience it whilst I've
Oh,
been there. Um, but yeah, like seeing everything about it, I don't think it's missed all that much. It seemed terrifying, and then they tried to cuten it up with Stitch, the little blue devil, and it was still terrifying. So I don't think
I
really
am still
is missed all that much.
I remember
But
being
yeah,
going
it's
on it
something we
at the
have
Stitch
lost.
version, and it is so scary. When you're like a child, you expect something to be fun. Because I think they went on the original before the Stitch version. And they're like, this will be fun. No,
Yeah.
no.
that's part of the fun, though. If you're like a teenager or an adult and you go in on it and there's loads of kids around that start screaming and crying, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I kind of understand that it was like that ride was brought out in a time where they were trying to get more teens and adults to get into the parks, and bring in that sort of audience. I don't know if it worked because it is scary. It's scary looking ride. Like I said, I never experienced it personally. I'll just go for Sophie's word. But yeah, it's I don't think it's one that's to be missed. Definitely one we've lost. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, it was definitely a production of the Eisner era, right? That was a really interesting time of Disney history, both in film and in the parks. And I think what's more talked about because it's slightly more controversial is the parks because the films they just took off. We had so many hits. There was other ones that weren't, but one thing I'd like to bring up first Space Mountain in Disneyland, 1975, I think, wasn't it? I think it's the first one, but it was definitely the first one here because Disneyland's got its after that.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting. You can definitely tell. I think it needs a little love, personally, but it's also just like a lot of this is a really interesting thing when we talk about Disney World. It's at a teetering point where it's almost old enough you could just leave it because it's nostalgic. That was a lot of Epcot before they redid it. Like it was so old that they were just like, well, like we love it now because it's just a time capsule. And I feel like that's what a lot of Space Mountain is. My wife loves that one because it's the closest she feels to death, and I like it for that. It's the most thrilling attraction, and I get it. I do love it for that. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean, there's no putting your hands up in that ride.
it's here,
It's
bro.
just
I do this
No.
at most.
ah, ah. I'm not going up here. because I will lose my arms. Yeah, it's definitely one of those rides which it needs a little bit of love, especially when you got something like Tron next door to it. You know,
But it's kind of come to the end of its life cycle, isn't it? They need to
I
do a
think
big thunder on it in the next year or so. I think it's down to do so. I think they're going to decide either to get rid of it completely and have the space now they've got Tron, or whether they will redo it.
I think they'd redo it before
I
they
hope
get
so.
rid of it.
Agree.
Is a mainstay of Tomorrowland.
Tokyo Space Mountain.
Yep.
We would probably get a copy of that.
I wouldn't mind
I
that.
would imagine.
That is a fantastic Space Mountain.
Yeah, I would like to think they would do something like that. I don't think they'd get rid of it altogether. Like I said, is a mainstay of the Tomorrowland area. Is in nearly every park, you know. So
They need to decide what they're doing with Magic Kingdom Tomorrowland.
Agree.
It's so all over the place. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor needs to move out. They've got a space. They can do something brand new. Get rid of the Autopia.
Oh,
I think
not the
California-
Autopia.
I think California, they said they've got to get rid of theirs, change over the
they're going to change to electric though,
by
aren't they?
January, otherwise it's got to go down permanently.
Yeah, I did read about that. I'm interested to see. I think that'll make it much less fun, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think then if that's the case, Florida I think will follow suit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does stink of petrol in that area. It is a big space which could be used for something better. But it's an OG.
I know it. It's an old friend. I don't want to see it go.
Yeah. It's a 5-minute wait most of the time when you're out there in like the September months.
Mm-hmm.
So something you could just go on and be like, yeah, I want to ride.
Yeah.
I have heard that the ground that it's on, it's difficult for them to put anything else on because it's
Fantastic.
not that sturdy.
Keep it.
But we'll see.
Yeah. And obviously we got changes coming up to the Carousel of Progress.
Ooh, big topic alert.
Yeah. That's really something because obviously that's been the same show for ever.
Yeah.
We had like 3 versions of it.
Yeah, we have.
We're not on the version, are we?
Mm-hmm. But if I recall, this version is closest to the original that we've had, right? Because we've had iterations and even different songs and different voice actors who've done it, and as they've done that, they've changed the scenes. But if I was recalling correctly, this is the closest to the World's Fair exhibit that we have, and same with the voice actors. So I like it for that. I just think this was a shock to everyone because it has been around for so long. Even if it hasn't been the exact same iteration, it's been the same thing pretty much. Like give or take, family goes through these particular eras. There's a song, it's cute. There's a dog, right? And so I think this there is a dog. It's a big adds it, really bumps it up for me. But I think this is really scary because I think everyone's really nervous about the wall animatronic because that had really mixed reviews and they're putting another one in, which I like the idea of, but gosh, they better get this one right. I really hope they do this one just a little better. And then this ride has to be done well. And I know I say that a lot, but Disney, when they redo a classic like this and they tell us about it, my expectations are here now. Like throw an animatronic in Pirates, I didn't know, so I was surprised, but redo Carousel of Progress, like I'm looking here for perfection. And if there's not a Horizons thing cameo in the last scene, I will be upset. I'm just saying that. But yeah, that's a big piece of news.
I think they're playing really smart because they know what they've got coming in the next few years and they don't want to put all the gravity to one side of the park. They're going to start looking at plussing all the older attractions and kind of split the crowds. So if you have something new over in Tomorrowland, it's going to draw more people over there. So I don't think they're going to cock it up, but we will see.
Yeah, I agree. Their plans seem good. Like nothing that they've released so far, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good actually. Like I'm in. This looks fun. These are good concepts. So I'm interested to see how it gets carried out.
To mention, there's a couple of things we've lost that hurt me. Like with Toontown. what is Storybook Circus? It's not. It's not a good replacement for Toontown, is it really?
No, I Toontown was so amazing. I loved that area of the park. Being able to go in and out of the houses and doing all that. It was brilliant. I remember that fondly as a kid. And then we got this like
Yeah.
fairground thing.
Just not the same.
Yeah, and it's just that. It's yeah. I mean, you got the Smell-O-Phants. They're quite fun. But that's I mean, you got Dumbo.
Did we need two Dumbos?
No, not really.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like, especially over in California now, you've got a Toontown, and it looks awesome.
Dude, it's
Honestly,
so dope. I made a point to visit it on my last trip because I hadn't been in a few trips. I just couldn't get back there.
yeah,
And it is like it used to be okay, like it used to be cool, but with that redo and the addition of Runaway Railway, it is just
yeah,
such a great place to go. There's so much to do. There's so much space now. Like there's really only like two bottlenecks in there, and the Runaway Railway there is phenomenal. That queue is so good. Like that bespoke attraction, it's so much better than the great movie version like that they just snuck in. It makes me like it a lot more than I did before.
I just think it's just why. Like, there's one in Tokyo as well, and I think it's very similar to the California one because it has the Roger Rabbit ride, and it has like Donald's boat, Mickey and Minnie's house, Goofy's house, has Chip and Dale's tree house. Why? Why don't we have that in Magic Kingdom?
why don't we have that? Yeah. Oh,
But the Magic Kingdom one was never a patch on California. It was always like it cheap. It was a temporary overlay for a couple of years, and it kind of outlasted
You
everyone.
can't go
yeah,
into
but it's
Mickey's
still
house
better than what
anymore,
we
can
got
you?
now.
No.
You know.
Yeah, but without that, we wouldn't have the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We wouldn't have the Beauty and the Beast restaurant, which again isn't the best. I mean, it's pretty once you've done it once, but
I don't know. The menu's changed now. There
I,
is
they wouldn't go.
it's different. It's no longer more like quick service food as it is more like an actual sit down 3 course bish bash bosh sort of thing.
I have a question. Is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train still worth riding? We've had it for a long time, and I skipped it my last trip, and I just felt okay about it.
It was okay.
Like I
When I
was like,
first, I've only done it
I don't know.
once because it was shut when I went like previously, and I just thought, oh, that's it.
It's quite a short ride. I feel.
Yeah, it's got the Tron
I
effect
think that's
problem.
yeah. That's kind of the issue with it, but it's the one that everybody goes to for rope drop.
Yeah, it's the Peter Pan,
It's
right?
Yeah.
literally, and you see waits in the day go up to like 70, 80 minutes for it, and I think it's a good ride. I don't think it's worth half an hour plus wait time.
Yeah.
Anything above that, I'm happy to skip it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like that's what I was saying. Like I love that ride. I think it's so beautifully done. I think the queue is awesome. I think the animatronics are neat. I think the effects are cool still. And I think it's been 10 years more since that ride opened. I mean, it's kind of it's yeah, it's kind of getting up there. Like in my mind it's new and it is compared to say Space Mountain, but anyway, but last time I was there, it was our last night, and I was like, oh, we should go on Seven Dwarfs, and it was 80 minutes, and I was like, it's not worth it. Like, I'd rather wait 80 minutes for Tron and be disappointed about how
Yeah,
short that is, but it's so fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a much better ride.
yeah,
Although it's short, it may be the same sort of time you're on the
yeah.
ride for, but
12 years
No,
old.
12,
that's
my
crazy.
goodness.
That is crazy. I remember it opening.
Me too.
That's wild.
Goodness.
12 years.
May 14.
Wow. That being said, besides Storybook Circus being a slight letdown, I think the theming's really nice. I think it's fun for the kids. I do think that is a worthy trade for some of Toontown, in my opinion. Like, I think, like, if I had to say I'll give up half of Toontown for this coaster,
Yeah.
I would have done it.
And we got a decent meet and greet out of it as well in the tent.
Yeah, I suppose so. And for the kids, yeah, like the splash pad's really cool. Us, even for the bigger kids like me, is really cool. Florida days get hot.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just gotta go in the splash pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's just not. Life's not the same without it, is it?
Toontown.
Come over to California. Got you covered.
How far away California is for us. So much more of an ache that is today.
Whilst we're talking about it, I honestly think, and it was debated on Jim Hill's podcast a few weeks ago, that they could easily take away Magic Kingdom's Small World. It would open up the entry point into Villain's Land, and it's not the original, is it?
I would be okay with it. I will get yelled at about this. I think it's an inferior version. It's weird that you have to go down. It's moldy. It's dark. I don't appreciate it. They can take it, and I'd be like, good job.
Okay.
I'd pat them on the back for that one. It's totally okay. But people can have other opinions, but that's mine.
I'm just gonna say, hear me out. I'm not a massive advocate for Small World. I maybe ride it once, twice at a push, anytime I visit. But it's Small World, you know. Again, it's another classic. It's one that's like forever been in the park. It feels like, and gosh, it doesn't feel like a park without.
I think they could like redo it. So you know, like how Paris.
For more whales, I want a whole whale section and all that little
Small World
What,
whales.
swimming in the ocean?
that little, yeah, just small wheeled whales.
It's a small whales.
You'd have a great time. It is a small whale.
I think they could like.
More people need
if
to
they
know.
redid it, you know how all these have got like a massive facade with like the clock and it's all cool. I think they could do that because it's just hidden away. Really,
Yeah.
you don't know it's there unless you know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But Joe, what if they said they were going to take that away and we were going to get a better version of Tangled from Tokyo?
Ooh.
Like-
Get rid.
You-
That's not even a question. Do you know, I've said this before on the podcast. I think Ariel, the Little Mermaid ride, that should go, and I think that area should turn into Tangled. It's the right sort of space for it. I think it'd be. The Little Mermaid ride is dated, I think, now, and it's time for something new to be there. And for Tangled to just slip into that little slot, I think would be awesome. So, fingers crossed.
I mean,
I like the Mermaid ride.
Yeah, it's nice if you want like a kip. Do you know what I mean? You go on there, air conditioned. You start going backwards. You lean back. I'm sleeping. but I would much rather see the Tangled ride there. Because we need more Rapunzel representation.
Agree.
In the Orlando parks.
No, I agree with that. It's an untapped potential IP that they just won't do here.
I mean, all we've got for her is
That's the worst
tower and a
toilets
set of toilets.
ever.
Rough.
They stink. Oh,
Yeah, they are. But it's because they're the most stunning looking on the outside. Everybody goes, "Oh yeah,
but
windy."
then you go in and you're
And
like,
then
oh
toilets, 'cause
no.
that's nice looking. And they gross. Yeah, like, oh, what a mistake.
Tom Sawyer's Island, which is a big hit.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah,
Oh, no.
it's
And on the map, it's just
It's
got
super
grass on the
gone.
map. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know. It's really sad to see, isn't it? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I quite often check the wait times throughout the week just to see what's going on in the parks. Like oh, it's 4 o'clock. I see what the rides are like. But yeah, seeing it as a patch of grass and no Tom Sawyer's in the River of America is sad. And I know we've got the new Cars Land coming. It's gonna be an upgrade. It is gonna be an upgrade. No, Sophie, it is, because we're gonna get a
Yeah,
really good
go
fight
to
out
cars,
there.
but
And
that
getting
car
two
would
attractions
go.
out of it.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't. It should be in Hollywood
Hollywood
Studios.
Studios.
It should be.
Yeah, should be with you, Joe.
There's my Hollywood
Yeah,
Studios.
in Hollywood
There's my
Studios.
Hollywood Studios mention.
Yeah,
In.
he knew it the whole time.
It was all circling back. I knew what I was doing. um, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna get a lot out of it, which, you know, Tom Sawyer's was good. The River of Americas was cute, but
No.
we gotta let the
No.
nostalgia die a bit, I think, and start moving on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think for something like that you got to, because it was a big space, and not many people went over to Tom Sawyer's. You know, I missed it on my last couple of visits just because it's there.
I think I'm gonna miss like the
Never
boat
paid for
more.
You know,
Like going on the boat, going around the river. Because that was just like a
Yeah,
chill,
that's-
like,
that's-
you know,
that's
you've been
the
like
most.
pushing around until you're just in a haunted mansion, Thunder Mountain's down. Oh, I'll go on the boat. And it just killed like
Yeah.
a bit of time, and it's chill. I mean, there's a bit of
Yeah.
questionable scenes, weren't there? That probably shouldn't probably be allowed. So,
True story. True story. Yeah.
but
I think that's my biggest concern is like I I will get publicly executioned for this, but it's not the original. It's not the Rivers of America, and so I'm not as sad about losing it. If it was Rivers in America in Disneyland, I would be throwing way more of a fit about this. Not that they'd care, and not that it matters, but I would. But here's my concern with losing the Rivers of America, and especially the Liberty Bell, is what Sophie said, is that it was chill. There's so, like, theme parks are turning into like a how much can you get done and how many things can we jam in here kind of thing, which for the average goer is a good thing because they're planners and they love to ride rides. But for a lot of people, like I'm a slow down and chill out midday kind of guy. And so I loved hopping on board the Liberty Bell or the Mark Twain and just like taking a couple laps and being like, hey, I feel good. Like I wasn't being pushed around by strollers for the last hour. I feel better. I can go back out and I won't kill somebody, right? And so I think for me, it's more concerning that Disney World is losing such a big space where that was a thing to do, and less of a concern that it's losing a classic attraction. I'm sad to see the Liberty Bell go. It's a beautiful piece of ambiance, beautiful piece of storytelling. It's not the OG, and as long as they do something cool with the bell, like I won't be as mad, right? But that's what I'm really sad about. So that's been a concerning thing for me in Disney World's sort of identity is what do I do about that? And I hope that National Parks vibe really carries that chill
yeah, I think
over
they need to
into the
have
new
something
Cars
that's
land.
chill. And I was also concerned about like, so you know, if you stand like by Rivers of America and you look back towards the castle, and it's such like a good landscape and like view. I hope they keep that with the new
Mm-hmm.
area, because if you put something that's going to block that view of the castle, you're kind of losing like, I don't know, part of the park, part of like the viewpoints. So I think they need to keep some of that,
Yeah.
because it's good to be able to, wherever you are, if you can see the castle, it's kind of, I don't know, it's nice. Yeah, I don't know.
But with that being said, we've talked about the Cars Land is kind of up for grabs right now. There's not a lot of details about that, but we know the Villains Land's being taken very, very seriously. So if they get it right, like they could really quell some of this anger that they've created by taking it out. I think if they do a good job on these rides, people won't be as upset. But I think me and Dean have talked about this. I'm talking a lot, so I'll shut up after this. But me and Dean have talked about how are they going to transition between colonial America and Frontierland to this national parks thing. And I know it sounds natural, but they're completely different. Like they just are. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I didn't even think about the transition between the two different areas, because obviously it just worked so well having sort of like this massive paddle boat sort of thing. um, going around the rivers of America. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. That's a
I think we're losing Liberty Square. And I think we're losing all the presidents because it would get rid of so
I
many
think that
issues.
whole area does need some love because I never go to see the president thing. Is that all the presidents? Oh,
I can't.
Yeah. So you bring the Muppets in.
Oh, that was such a
I
good
think.
show.
It was. I was gonna say there was a Muppet Show there for
Yeah.
ages, wasn't it? I love that. Yeah, I don't know. I would hate to see it go. To be fair, you've got one of the best quick services on property there, which being names gone in my head.
The
Don't
harbour
worry, but
one.
you can get a waffle,
Sleepy
the waffles from there. No, not the
Sleepy
Hollow.
Hollow's got the waffles.
Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I
that one.
think
It's one of the best quick
that
services in my
if they,
opinion.
I agree.
like, if they got rid of the American, what did you say it's called? The American area. Yeah, Liberty Square. They could do kind
Square.
of like a Paris,
Liberty
and
Square.
you know how like Phantom Manor kind of leads into it's basically in Frontierland. They could kind of extend the Frontierland vibes and include Haunted Mansion. Maybe I don't know because the style of the house probably doesn't work with that, but because you've still got Haunted
Yeah.
Mansion, that's not going. Because if that's going, I'm never going to Disney World again. It's a big statement.
Whoa.
But
That's
you know, you've still got to tie
Whoa.
Haunted Mansion into it all somehow. And I think if you completely got rid of Liberty Square, Haunted Mansion would just be there. Won't really link to anything else.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of linked to Villain's Land, though, wouldn't it? Once it's out.
Yeah, that's true. But I agree with Sophie. Like it would be hard to place that. The architecture is what I'm worried about. The way that that building's built, it just wouldn't fit. And especially Memento Mori, great shop. It just would be so out of place. But that being said, I think there's a lot more work to do there because again, the wall's just where the river was, and there's no way it's going to be a hard transition. Like, red pavement, green pavement, no way. So I think there's more phases of this where they're going to be like, okay, now we're closing all of this, and you have to walk down this little tunnel for Haunted Mansion, and that's it. I think there's going to be more chunks of this where that we see
Yeah,
that
because they
as
are
more
doing
things get done.
something to Haunted Mansion at the moment, aren't they? It's all like boarded up. Well, it's got like it's self printed on it.
Mm-hmm.
I have read that is going
So
to
cool.
be done by Halloween. So when they do like Mickey's Not So Scary. Wow. So
That's by Halloween.
wow. Because someone
It's a
said
long
that all,
time.
like, well, they said August, I think, because for like the Halloween parties, they'd be because they do all the projections, like they project the lights. So I'm hoping it's gone by the time I get there. But if it's hiding something else, which I think it probably is, there's something going on behind Haunted Mansion, isn't that they don't want people to see? So that's why they've.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, aren't they rumoured to be switching the queue line so you don't go from that side, but you go from behind? We're not apparently getting the bar. It's going to be a queue line there,
Oh, is that really true? That would be a bummer. They should do the bar.
but we will see.
That'd be a tragedy. You can take all the Pirates animatronic money and put it into the bar. Please, just take it. I don't even want it. Also, in terms of things we've lost, I would like to bring up 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. They had the OG Nautiluses, and I think, if I'm right, they had them past when Disneyland had them. Like, I think Disneyland's was changed well before Disney World's was changed, but I could be wrong about that. Either way, that was a rough close for fans because it stayed there for so long. That they had a Wonders of Life effect where they just left it for so long, and everyone was just sad to see it there, and then they paved it, and then it was wasn't it a Winnie the Pooh meet and greet or some? It was some kind of thing you could do with Winnie the Pooh, or maybe a ride, and then they did it again,
Is
and
that
now
where
it's what
so
it is.
the Pooh meet used to be opposite Pooh's Funny Hunt, but now it's like there's like a little playground, but now it's all within the queue of Pooh's Funny Hunt. And it's not called that in Walt Disney World, is it? But yeah,
Right, right. I wanted to bring that up for the OGs because I know there's people out there that still mourn the loss. And Mr. Toads, throw that out there too, because sad
Yeah.
loss for Mr. Toads.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
That's a good reference,
Is
Joe.
he in the Pet Cemetery?
He is.
He is, isn't he?
He is.
yeah, that was a cool little nod that they added.
So now that have we covered everything? Is there anything else we're missing here? I know there's
I
probably other
mean, we've got
attractions.
Splash Mountain
Okay.
was changed to Tiana's,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. So that's another massive thing, which a lot of us were sort of like on the fence about.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the fence. I quite like Tiana's Bayou.
Mm.
I think is a much needed update, and I like it. I mean, the story could have been better through the ride.
Like, what do you mean having a story to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Story could have been great.
Dr. Facilier being on it would be nice, but it was needed. I mean, Splash Mountain's been there for so long, and it was visually old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the inside animatronics. It was time. So I don't hate Tiana's Bayou. I think it's pretty good for what it is. But I know some people will disagree and say otherwise. Dean.
Tokyo's got the
Yeah.
best splash. They looked after it. Yeah, the only one there.
Yeah, it's loved. That one's very loved.
And
Yeah.
do you remember back in the days when we didn't have a flying carpet ride in Adventureland? It was just an open hub area.
That would be awesome. I'm not a fan of the flying carpets, personally.
It's the same ride as Dumbo and
Yeah.
It just feels cheap because all that theming is so good. The treehouse and Skipper Canteen and the Tiki Room and Jungle Cruise are so like detailed and good. And then I just feel like it's this cheap carpet ride right in the middle, and it always ruins it for me.
Yeah, but it looks good on the adverts, doesn't it?
That does. That's true. I mean, you got to get those kids smiling riding the carpets. I mean,
Exactly.
how else are you gonna sell tickets?
Exactly.
Yep.
You know.
Good point.
I mean, we go back all the time, so.
It got me. It works on me every time. I'm like, damn, fine. I'll go ride the carpets. Fine.
I've got a
Got me
couple of
again.
non-park, non-ride losses. So, Wishes and Spectral Magic.
Mmm.
Throwbacks.
Ooh.
I mean, I know they did, after Spectral Magic, they did the Main
Hurts.
Street Electrical Parade for a bit. But Spectral Magic was like, it was Disney World, wasn't it? That was like their thing. And I know Happily Ever After is great, but it's not Wishes. It's not. Don't pull that face, Joe.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
It is really good, and I do
just
love it,
love
but
those
it's
sort
not got
of
Jiminy Cricket.
videos.
No one's willing to let your conscience be your guide.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's-
sorry, I
that's
just
true,
needed
that's
to
true.
mention those.
Happily ever after though. Happily ever after though. You know, it's pretty good.
Like when McDonald's used to be in the park and they had like the French fry cart in Adventureland.
Woo.
Yeah. When they had the contract.
That may
So they
be
put
before I was
McDonald's-
alive.
No. This was
That was a jab.
12 years ago, maybe 14.
Okay.
It can't have been that long.
Yeah. It's just a little cart serving French fries.
Hold on a minute. I'm looking
McDonald's
this up.
French fries. As you were walking from Pirates to Big Thunder.
How about we need to talk about the cake castle at some point?
We
We must.
We must. And in tandem, we must talk about the toilet paper castle as well. Those we have to talk about both.
Oh, yeah.
In the same conversation
Yep.
as well.
They must be mentioned in the same breath.
I wish I'd have seen
They have to.
the cake. The
'Cause
cake
that's
castle.
all I
is
will give
just-
them.
Before my time. So my parents actually went that year just as they were painting it pink. So they've got pictures of a pink Cinderella castle before it was caked. It looks really weird. It's really
Wow.
but it's bad.
Bad.
But I think the cake's quite iconic. Really, they don't do like that anymore, do they?
I mean, they memed so hard. Like, it's iconic. Like, they did something so bad it was good, you know?
Yeah.
I think,
Because of all the complaints, why they don't do it anymore.
yeah.
Sorry,
No, no,
Jackson.
no, no. I agree. I mean, it was bad. I mean, Disneyland had a similar thing with when they did the Diamond Anniversary. They really went out on the castle, and some of it got so many complaints they had to like dial it back and redo some of the turrets. So they do listen to feedback on those things, especially when they put overlays on their landmarks. But
Because
it
when
was
I
an
first
interesting
went to Walt
choice.
Disney World in 2006, so I didn't see the toilet paper castle. I just kind of missed that. But they had it, so it was all decorated for Disneyland's 50th. So it had, on the front of the castle, there was like a picture frame, and it changed through all of the castles that existed so far. It was really cool, and it changed
Oh,
like every
whoa.
so many minutes, and all the turrets had like gold up them, and I didn't, as a kid, I didn't know what it was, but obviously doing research, it was for Disneyland's 50th, which I thought was quite cool. And it was quite tasteful. It weren't like
Hmm.
in your face, it was just kind of like little gold accents everywhere. They don't even do that anymore, do they? So,
Hmm.
no, it's sad.
Yeah, that was a different age of Disney. I think something that's worth noting here is the way that Disney has aged through the last, let's say 50 years is very visible through Disney World. And it's interesting. Like Disneyland, it's seeable, but they've covered it up pretty well. Like it's all pretty modern, it's all pretty new, or it's classic, right? But Disney World, you go, and there's some spaces that feel like liminal almost, where you're like, this feels so 90s or this feels so 80s, you know? You go in and you're like, I just can't believe this hasn't been touched. And it probably has been repainted, it's been, replanted, whatever. But they're like, I was walking through, if you go out of Tomorrowland and instead of going across the bridge, you go left and you go through, there's just a little seating area right there. It just feels straight up original in there. And I don't know if it is or not, that's not fact, but it's so fascinating to find those places because at Disneyland you just kind of don't because it's so classic and it's either 50s or new. So you're just happy. Pretty interesting thing about Disney World.
I would like to see the park bring back some more like original characters, like we have Orange Bird,
Mm.
who's such a classic character. Like the other parks, like Epcot's got Figment and things, so the other parks have classic characters. So just bring a few more back to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I
I would like
agree.
that.
I agree with Dean. I do
I
agree.
do. Yeah,
It's a really good point too, actually. Like that was great.
And like Cosmic Rays, we've got Cosmic Ray, haven't we?
Yeah.
Have we? We've still got Cosmic
I
Ray.
think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think they
Still
could
there playing the keys.
add more
Yep.
like roaming. I know roaming's an issue in Walt Disney World because of the busyness.
I'd love them to change up the characters
Yeah.
because you always get the same ones. And like you get Paris doing like pass holder nights, and they get like loads of red. What are you doing?
Yeah, if you can get in the queue and see them. Some people are waiting 2
I know
hours
that
for a special
in
character,
Paris
and
as
they've
well,
got
they
no
do
time
like
to do
so.
anything else.
Certain times of the year they'll have a special meet and greet for pass holders. Don't know if they do it this year, but in the past they have. So they did Robin Hood and I think Little John, but definitely Robin Hood. So you could book a slot basically to meet Robin Hood. So there was like chance for that. So they should bring Robin Hood out. Honestly, yes.
UK Pavilion, that's where you should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
point,
there's just so
Joe.
many characters they could use. Like I don't want to see the Crunchy Bears. They terrify me, right? I don't want to see them walking around. I want to see like I don't know anyone else.
Did they go into your Goofy phobia?
Well, imagine my fear, right? If I'm like I walk
Is there, like,
through
big-
past Crunchy Bears Jamboree and then there's the bears and they're there and I'm like, oh. And then I get to Thunder Mountain and there's Goofy in his little Western outfit. That's happened before. That
It's a bad day to be Sophie.
I'm like turning around and running. I remember like going on
That's how I
as a kid and I was absolutely terrified. I
Yeah,
will
but that's
go on
also
it
had
with
an update.
I think now as an adult I
It's all modern now.
deal with that.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's again something I think they had to do. Again, it was one of those things being dated, and now is sort of brought a newer audience into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was rude awakening for me because I had no idea, and I wrote it on my
Like,
honeymoon,
what the
and I was like,
hell's going
I was like ready to sing along, and I was like, oh, what the bro? Like, I was pissed. I thought it was cute. Like, I was like, okay, this is fun, but I realized that that was permanent, and I was like, this is not a good time. This is not a good day for me.
I really like it.
I like it too. I think it's cute. I just like the original better. But that's so nostalgia based. Like that is not rational. That is just purely because my family's loved it that and like that. So I shouldn't argue it like that because that's not fair. But it is cute. I won't say it's done badly. It is not the Zootopia Bugs Life re-theme. It is not that. It is a good replacement and it is fine.
Do you still have it in Disneyland?
Oh
Or
no,
did Winnie
gone
take
for
over?
yeah. Winnie the Pooh took it years and years and years ago.
So you have to get to
And
Tokyo
they
now.
changed
Yep, I do. I have to go to Tokyo for a lot of
season.
things.
Tokyo is seasonal, so depending what time of year you go, depends what. Yeah.
Wow. I would just like to point out that People Mover does exist in Tomorrowland, and that's a huge win for me in their Tomorrowland. Their Tomorrowland's troubled, but it does have People Mover, which makes it about 50% less troubled than Disneyland's. So
Arguably the best ride on property.
besides Living with the Land, I'm with you.
Don't look at me like that.
It's
Sophie.
not.
You know it to be true.
No.
It is true.
It's the ride that you'll always go on every trip, even if it's.
Multiple times.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about
You give
that.
them the old again, and they're just like, close the door, keep it going.
Just sit there and like, there's no
Yeah.
problems in the world, is there? Because
So,
it's just going, yes, Tomorrowland, and then get to Space Mountain and the lights are on, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
Mm.
Great.
it's great. But then if you go
Best.
through it when Space Mountain's on running, it's quite terrifying because it screams.
It's very scary and dark, and there's a lot going on.
It's not the best ride though.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Is up here.
It's good. It's a top 5 for me.
It's a top 5 and I aim 4, 5, 3,
It's
2.
second
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
one.
Yeah,
on Magic
easy.
Kingdom, because obviously Haunted Mansion is number one. You know,
Oh, that's a
but
fifth one.
it's like it's good.
I think something that we're seeing here is that we're seeing Disney World change to be less like other parks and more its own thing, right? Because it's getting a lot of bespoke attractions, getting a lot of special treatment, which it needed. Like I don't think any of us are going to say it didn't need it. It did. Um, I think we're watching Disney World grow up a little bit to be its own competitor because we've watched them do it to Paris and we've watched them do it to Hong Kong and Shanghai and all these different places. They've all got their own attractions, their own things. It's not just Big Thunder every time. They're like, okay, Paris's Big Thunder's very different. You know, Disneyland's Big Thunder gets this update. Same with Disney World. They got their big update. You know, they're getting it. And I think we're watching it become a world theme park that people don't just say, oh, it's just like a bigger Disneyland. I think it's at the end of all these changes, it's going to be that's Magic Kingdom. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Also, with the new expansions, it's going to bring, well, they say it's going to add a daily capacity of an extra 9,000 to 10,000 additional guests per day. So, I mean, if we're thinking that the park's busy now,
Yeah.
like, if we go again in like 5 years, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
But kind of obviously they need the new attractions to spread people out, but at the same time it's going to bring more people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the new areas coming in as well, the cars and the villains land over the next 10 years, like you say, the foot traffic is going to go up, and I think a lot of it is going to be spread between the new cars area and villains. You know, you're going to be in that one area.
And they're going to go see Carousel. They're going to make their way across the park and go see the new Carousel of Progress because you have to.
Exactly. Yeah. This should just
And-
be. I know. Shut up. Yeah. I might send an email.
If only there was a Skyway,
Shut
a Skyway that went from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland. If only that happened.
Yeah, strange. I can't
Weird.
think of any- Yeah, strange. I can't think of any Oh, in parks have ever done that.
Yeah,
Weird. Oh well.
be a great idea.
I wonder if they'll add like a back exit to Villain's Land, because there's going to be too many people coming out of the front exit once everything's up.
Kind of go Star Wars Land where there's multiple entrances.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't know.
Joe doesn't seem convinced. Joe's not
Tough to
convinced.
say.
Because like one
It's
extra ferry boat isn't going to handle it.
it's gonna be a massive bottleneck.
I just think it's going to be hard for them to deal with the amount of people that are going to be coming to see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be. I don't know how they're going to, because it's already busy.
Yep.
Magic Kingdom is like, you go there some days and it's just you can't move, especially if you go in like peak season. So I just think they need to do something clever with like how they're going to move people around with like the pathways and stuff. So kind of like, I don't want them to do what they did with like Fantasy Springs and Disney Sea, where the pathways are so narrow, none of the ride queues are big enough to deal with the amount of people that want to go on the rides. So people are queuing in like the paths, and you're trying to get through these paths that have got like 1,000 other people. I hope they kind of learn from that and make it more open. And I don't want to feel like I'm stood on top of everyone, basically. It should be, I don't know. I hope they don't mess it up, basically.
Yeah. It's got to be able to handle the capacity, which is going to go there, because our opening day is going to be like hell, you know.
It is going to have to be such a ticketed event. Like it,
It's horrible.
yeah, like there's no way. Like you couldn't just trust a normal opening with that.
The thing is, such an anticipated area and has been, you know, rumored and talked about for so many years. The hype for it already is like bigger than anything I think Disney has ever done,
Yeah.
like park wise. So it's one of those things they have got to get it spot on and get it right first time round, because if it goes bad, it goes bad.
I think Lightning Lane prices will triple.
Oh, you're probably right.
Oh, I don't know about triple.
Mm.
I think they'll go up. I think. I don't know. It's tough to say, because they've got this new pricing tier, haven't they, on the Lightning Lanes, where you can buy for the park for the day, one for every ride, which has a Lightning Lane. Expensive. I'm not for it. Stupid money. And you only get to do your rides once. Don't like it. That'll go up.
In the park, aren't you? So you shouldn't really have to pay again. But I mean, we all end up doing it because we want to get on these things.
Yeah.
I think $20 aren't they, most of them? Like,
think
I
it
don't love a ride
depends.
enough. That much money.
Yeah, I think it depends on like what sort of. It changes day to day from what I know. Like, don't get me wrong, I've paid like $10 to get onto Seven Dwarfs,
Mm-hmm.
just because the queue was like 50-minute wait. I was like, I don't want to wait on that, but I want to ride it, so I paid the $10. I walked straight onto it. Triple the price. That's crazy. I don't know about that.
But it's like
I
years
think it'd go up in price just because of the newer attractions come into Cars and Villains. But I don't think it'll triple. That's a lot, because that's something going from like $20 to $60 just to skip a queue.
yeah, but
I mean, it's
I
gone
don't know, there can
from
have to be something to put people off.
it's gone $60 to $120 to get into the park over my lifetime, you know, like
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right, like that probably is a lot, but what I'm willing to bet is that it will be slowly raised, and by the time we're there, we will be at triple, but we'll think it's a good deal because we'll be like, well, that one month during peak season it was like $80 per ride, so 60, like that's so reasonable. You know, like, cause
Maybe you're right.
I don't know, who knows?
Like, it's so far down in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where in 10 years' time, you could be spot on, and yeah,
Yeah.
could be.
And who knows? I mean, what'd you say, Sophie?
It used to be free.
I know it.
It did used to be.
You should just put your
Crazy.
ticket.
I can't believe it's talking about it being priced.
It's such a scam, dude. I have to say it. It just is.
Do you know, that's something we haven't touched on. Something the Magic Kingdom, well, Disney parks have lost, is a free fast pass.
Yep.
You know, and it's a massive loss. I used to love going up to the booths and pressing for my fast pass ticket,
Mm-hmm.
being given the time, coming back at the time he was given, and it's free. Even when they moved to the My Disney Experience app, and you could get three free fast passes. Wow, that was tough. A day for your visit
Mm-hmm.
whilst you were there. I think that was great. You know, you could book it like your dining reservations. I think 60 days out, or maybe it might have been 90 days out for rides. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that was a really good system.
Mm-hmm.
And then they moved it to so you have to pay when Genie Plus, I think. Was it
Genie
for
Plus.
Lightning
I
Lane?
remember that.
Yeah, stupid move. But the mouse needs money.
No, we don't. He don't need that much, bro.
Yeah.
He doesn't need that much. He's got it, man.
His pocket's pretty deep.
Big Mouse is loaded, brother.
Yeah.
I think I just like we've touched on this kind of topic before where Disney like this is such a convergence of multiple things because I think people think, oh, like fast passes is just a greed thing. And I partially agree. I do think it was just like we want more money and they got it. But you also have to look at the world and what it's been doing with themed entertainment, and theme parks are just crazy popular now. You just go, and especially Disney. It is like a Disney world out there. And so you like we said, we can't trust people with the opening of Villain's Land. It would be a madhouse unless that was a on top of ticketed event, right? And I can't believe I'm advocating for that, but I am, just so that people can kind of have a good experience. Because you won't, right? It's just a totally different world we're in now, where the chill, go to the park, take the quick road trip to the park, it just doesn't work anymore. And it might for locals, like locals kind of have the that kind of park
Yeah.
still. But like if you're taking a vacation and you're more than say, let's say 10 hours away, whether it's car or plane, you've got to make reservations and you've got to be prepared to take the risk of crowds that you just can't manage, and you've got to be prepared to pay $10 to get on mine train. And it sucks, but I think whether Disney was here or not, it would be how we were doing it. I just think it's how it would be. So I don't think Disney's like super squeaky clean. Like they're definitely overcharging us and it's ridiculous. But it's just so freaking popular. It's just, you can't get around the amount of people they got to process.
I do think so. In the Japan parks, so I know Universal Japan did it when they opened the new Super Nintendo area. You enter the lottery when you go in the park. So I think that's how they need to control Villains Land. Maybe even if they don't charge people, but you've paid for a ticket, you enter, you have to be in the park to try the lottery. So whether they do it for rope drop or when the park opens to the public, it's probably best. That's probably more fair. Um, and then everyone gets a chance then to maybe go into Villains Land, and that kind of then controls the crowd. I think that's something they should probably look into.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, at least for the
Like,
first 10 years,
tiny
you know?
yeah. Yeah. Gosh,
Oh, yeah.
10 years, that's a time. Wow.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like,
I suppose it's got, yeah, it's good. I suppose something like that has got to be done because that is going to be the most popular area.
like Tron is going to be a ghost town, bro.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you'd be able to walk onto
Yeah.
it. Like, I think this Villains Lounge, which is coming, I know we've spoken about Villains Lounge quite a lot now, but because it's such a massive expansion, I think it deserves the thing. And we've done an episode on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's going to be so busy.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
I honestly think to counter it, we're going to get a Moana announcement behind Pirates, maybe taking over Jungle Cruise area,
Really?
but
No, don't say
and
that.
offset, so the crowds are going to go somewhere else.
Don't say that.
No,
No, don't say that.
no, but Jungle Cruise is already quite a people either like the queue for that gets really long, and you can get
You
quite a
don't
few people
like
on each
Jungle
ride.
Cruise?
Jungle Cruise is the best.
I like
But
Jungle
like the
Cruise, but
water,
Disneyland's got Jungle Cruise.
Ah, okay. I used that before. I accept that, Dean. I used that on you earlier, and I will take it.
I mean, imagine how much money you get on a fast pass with the Moana ride that was already designed for Animal Kingdom that's possibly coming to Disneyland Paris. I think it's a locked in.
That was heavy, Joe. That sigh was heavy.
Yeah, I know, but you can't get rid of Jungle Cruise.
I would riot, bro. Theirs is
They've
so
got
good.
based on Lane Jungle Cruise, they could put it as well, where they were going to put the hotel. So maybe they keep Jungle Cruise and just do like Disneyland for Indiana Jones. Took a bit of Jungle Cruise away
That's true.
and put most of the ride at the back.
Hmm.
I just think they need something again to offset the gravity.
I think that's true. While I am praying that you're wrong about Jungle Cruise, I do think you're right, Dean. Like, we're watching a park that was built in a different time try to take on crowds of a new time. And while they're expanding in certain ways to deal with that, there's gonna be growing pains where they have to say, we're putting a big attraction here, we're putting a big attraction here and here and here. So you have to go like this all day, right? To get on this ride and this ride and this ride. And I guess Tron and Carousel of Progress work that way where you say, oh, we'll go to Villains then we'll go to Tron, and then we'll go to this. But there has to be another thing because they just won't work. Because people just go down Main Street once and spend the whole day back there.
Yeah, gosh. Moana
I
should
just
stay out of place in Epcot. Do you know what I mean? That's really.
does she belong there though?
No.
That's why I say she's out of place. You know, she should just stay there. I don't want a Moana attraction. I like the Journey of Water.
I actually like Journey of Water too.
Let it
It is good. It's great.
just let it be that. You know, let it be that. Don't
I
need
just think-
ride.
Where do we draw the line with getting rid of opening day attractions? Like, how many do you take? You take one, and you're like, oh, well, actually, let's take that one now.
I think
And
everything's to play for.
No.
I agree with Dean because it's Magic Kingdom. I think Disneyland is a different story because this is my personal rule and it hasn't quite gone wrong yet. If Walt walked on it or walked in it, it's pretty much sacred ground, right? They'll tweak it, they'll change it, but they can't bulldoze it, right? I think they probably have a couple times, but
So, well, that would be Jungle Cruise.
yeah.
I
But he didn't walk in anything in Magic Kingdom.
He didn't, but they're all Walt right.
They are. That's true. But I think the presence of Walt in a ride makes it special enough, right? So I agree, Joe, that I think those rides in Disney World, like those original Walt rides, those are special and sacred. But I think Dean's right. I think nothing is not on the table at Disney World. I think which is scary, and I don't agree, but I think he's right.
I can always, yeah, it's
I
hard.
think you need to look at Epcot because that was what Vision Epcot was, and look at what's the state of it.
Well, it's a version of
Yeah,
Walt's vision.
Well, exactly. Like, it originally was Walt, so they didn't like. That wasn't sacred at all, was it? They were just like, oh, just do what we
I
want.
mean,
It wasn't Walt's
no,
vision.
what they built was so far away from what he envisioned.
Yeah, but you can drink your own.
And you can see our very friendly purple friend.
Yes.
But you can drink around the world in Magic Kingdom now, can't you? You've got Beacon Barrel. If we get a Haunted Mansion bar, we can make it work in Magic Kingdom.
No, it's not the same.
It's
You
not
don't. You get 45 minutes in there. You drink around the world. You get 8 hours in the park and give it a good go. Like,
I've always pictured Disney World as a love letter to Disneyland because it was built by Walt's brother well after his not well after, but after his death and after the company had seen successes and other parks. And I kind of, when I think about it through that lens, I'm kind of more okay with changes there. Of course, I don't want to lose Jungle Cruise or Autopia or People Mover or anything. I don't even want to lose Carousel of Progress. But I think if I'm trying to be more progressive about change in Magic Kingdom because it could lead to something better. Maybe. But I don't want it. And take it back, please. Sincerely, everyone in the US. Keep
I
your
think
money.
the problem is like it's the nostalgia, isn't it? And, like if you get rid of like the original rides, then people are going to go and be like, "This isn't the Magic Kingdom I went to as a child. This
Mm.
is something new," and maybe they'll be like, "I don't want to go back." And they probably won't because, like I said, it's only Haunted Mansion that would stop me from going back.
But then you get into the Star Wars debate, aren't you? Like the original 3 Star Wars films are amazing, and people were
Don't
saying like
start me.
the
You've not
fourth
seen episode 1. Shush.
were pants,
Happy shit.
Shut up.
and everyone now is saying that
Brilliant.
kind of, they were the best. Like Jar Jar Binks is the best thing since sliced bread, and give it a few more years.
Don't listen to Sophie. Don't listen to her. She don't know what she's all about.
Episode 2 and 3. Episode 3 is the best Star Wars film.
Episode is not. Episode 5 is the best. Then I'd go, what you mean? Right. Jackson, wrap it up. We're doing a Star Wars episode right now.
Well, I will say we have strayed a bit. However, we've brought up a lot of really interesting things about Disney World, and we've done something we rarely do, and we've started arguing. But that being said, I think we've brought up a lot of really interesting points because Disney World is becoming something that we really don't know how to define. Like, it's its own park, it's new, it's nostalgic, it's not, it's got new IPs, it's got new originals, like, it's just a whole thing. So, what we'll really have to do, and this is a sucky answer, but we'll just have to wait and see. Like, as soon as we get Carousel of Progress back, or as soon as we get more updates on Cars Land, then we can start really biting into this and judging it. But Magic Kingdom started as this copy paste a love letter to Disneyland, and now it's becoming something completely different, like all the other castle parks are. And as much as I hate to see these awesome attractions go instead of just the park grow, I'm not that mad about it because Disney World, I think, it's time for it to keep upgrading. It's time for it to magic up a little bit. That being said, don't take Jungle Cruise or Haunted Mansion. We will riot. There will be fires.
Yeah, we will.
And please, no name change. Don't change it to Magic Adventure.
No, please, gosh, that's a horrible, terrible thing. Awful.
Also, as long as they don't get rid of the Pooh River going through Liberty Square.
That can stay. If we could have the railroad open the full loop for more than a couple years, we would be thrilled. Just please build a bridge, do whatever you got to do.
And also, as long as I can still get a Dole Whip in the park, because if that goes, we've lost.
If you could add mint juleps actually to Disney World, I'd be in on that.
And an Orange Bird meet and greet.
Yeah. Bring back Orange Bird. Well, folks, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. I think we've talked about some things. I'm sure everyone who's watched this episode at some point said yes, and some point said, "You're so wrong, I hate you." And that is the magic that is the Disney community. Friends, just as a reminder, as we bring up these topics, we're going to get off this podcast and laugh about it because this was fun and we enjoyed it. And we probably blew off a little Magic Kingdom steam that we needed to blow off. But just a reminder, please do be nice to people as you share opinions and as you criticize new attractions and new changes. We should never, ever have to have comments turned off in a Disney Parks community. That's stupid. So please do remember, as we see these changes happen, unless they take out the Jungle Cruise, for heaven's sake, keep it civil. And remember that you can always find amazing things to watch here at Diz Debate. We're so glad you tuned in today. Thank you so much for watching. We're grateful that you do, and we're grateful for your respectful comments, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye now.
See you real soon.
Bye.
I was so ready for it to be so loud.
I get this so quiet.